Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. This is going to be, I hope, a fairly quick one because I'm just getting really tired of seeing the same tired discourse over and over again about socialist countries. And people always bring up Venezuela and North Korea. And here's the thing, right? In terms of actual Marxist-Leninist countries, there are four. You have the People's Republic of China, you have the Republic of Vietnam, you have, I think, the Democratic Republic of Laos, and of course you have the Republic of Cuba. That's it. Granted, the Socialist Party of Venezuela is in control of Venezuela, and Venezuela under Hugo Chavez started the whole Bolivarian movement, which was a pan-Latin American socialist movement that some other countries agree with. Okay, but in terms of actual socialist nations, that's it. And then there's lots of people who say, oh, well, no, what about socialist countries that we see in Europe and like the Nordic model, right? Well, okay, but the Nordic model is basically just nicer capitalism. So, okay, great, that would be a nice transition, but it's not socialism. And beyond that, then you have the same situation with Venezuela in Europe where, sure, there are socialist parties. For example, no one talks about Spain as a socialist country, even though the Socialist Party is in control. Same with how in France, they have a socialist party that sometimes wins power. Does that make them socialist? Yet no one ever brings it up, especially not right now, because it doesn't fit the ideal narrative of we gotta hate on socialism. But all of this ignores what I actually wanted to get to today, which is beyond the, difference between social democracy and the Nordic model and actual Marxist-Leninist states. There's a bunch of states out there that actually have socialism in the preambles to their constitution that no one ever makes a part of the conversation. Now, I know a lot of us still might remember the massive strikes from India a while back, which I'm pretty sure are still ongoing, by the way. But here's the thing. While India itself, on a whole, we don't imagine them to be a socialist or a communist country, even though the Indian state of Kerala has been run by communists for a while. Here's an interesting part from the preamble of India's constitution. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure all its citizens. There's more nations like this. One of them is actually the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, but their whole thing is the socialist motherland of Juche. So that's a thing for a different video. The Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Section 1, Article 1. Guyana is an indivisible, secular, democratic, sovereign state in the course of transition from capitalism to socialism and shall be known as the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Republic of Guinea-Bissau, Preamble. The Popular National Assembly congratulates the PAIGC for the vanguard role it has always performed in conducting the fates of the Guinea nation, and congratulates itself for the courageous and timely decision that the party of Amilcar Cabral took by overcoming the challenge of democratic opening towards the construction of a plural, just, and free society. The decision of the PAIGC follows in accordance with its historic tradition of acting at every moment as the repository for the deepest aspirations of our people. And the PAIGC is a political party based on democratic socialism. The state of Eritrea. Since 1991, the People's Front for Democracy and Justice, based on socialism and left-wing nationalism, has been the sole legal political party in Eritrea. Yes, Eritrea is bad. It's basically the North Korea of Africa. But the point is that there's lots of nations that are like this that we don't often think about or include in the conversation of being socialist. Another one. And this is their official title, the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Preamble, further pledging that it shall be a fundamental aim of the state to realize through the democratic process a socialist society free from exploitation, a society in which the rule of law, fundamental human rights and freedoms, equality and justice, political, economic, and social will be secured for all citizens. Here's another fun one of the few remaining from the Arab world. People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Preamble, in 1963, faithful to the program adopted by the National Council of the Algerian Revolution in Tripoli, the Democratic and Popular Algerian Republic will direct its activities toward the construction of the country in accordance with the principles of socialism. In 1996 and in 2016, they changed that, but it still basically says, you know, we still like the idea of socialism, but they did take it out and just replace it with a mention to the National Front of Liberation, which is a party based on Arab socialism, which will be a video for a different time. Who else we got here? Oh, Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal, Section 1, Article 4. Nepal is an independent, indivisible, sovereign, secular, inclusive, democratic, socialism-oriented federal democratic Republican Republican state. I am tired. The Republic of Nicaragua. You also have the Portuguese Republic, the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, and the United Republic of Tanzania. Like, there are plenty of socialist or socialist-derived states out there, especially in what we term the Global South. This then also brings up the question of, oh, well, how successful are they being in that regard? Because when we hear news, for example, from Bangladesh, it usually has to do with terrible worker abuses by a capitalist class. So has socialism failed in many of these nations? Some could argue, yes. In others, it's much harder to make that argument, partly because of historic context and partly because of current problems that they're facing due to economic strain, climate change, or something along those lines. The main point of why I made this video was that I wanted people to see that there's more than the handful of nations we love to throw around to try and support our arguments. There's even states with limited recognition that practice anarchistic or communistic principles. Freetown Christiania, the YPG or the Yipiga in Rojava in northern Syria, the, again, limited Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. Like, there's lots of places around the world. There are more examples than Venezuela, Cuba, China, Vietnam, and like the Nordic countries, and, you know, oh, that's it. That's where the conversation ends. And I'm frankly tired of it. And the fact that people didn't know about this, you know, dozen or so like nations and various different organizations that are practicing and working towards socialism, and that people probably still won't use them in their daily conversations and do more research into how they're accomplishing this, that is what's bothering me today.